is coming in. This is related to the Noida protest. We have CCTV footage which has been accessed exclusively by Times Now, which shows masked protesters on a total rampage. Cameras were targeted. This is in the Sector 63 factory. Evidence of alleged destruction also seems to be caught on the CCTV camera. You can see the video on your screen as well. This is the surveillance system which had caught the protesters on camera, and you can see them on cam allegedly damaging CCTV units. The entire incident has been captured. When we speak of the factory unrest, the visuals have been captured on CCTV. My colleague Priyank is joining us live on the broadcast. Priyank, taking a look at the CCTV footage, can you elaborate exactly what this shows, and also about the sabotage angle, something which was widely discussed earlier, and how the CCTV could perhaps end up bolstering that claim?
Actually, one thing is quite sure after looking at the series of the CCTV footage that this was a pre-planned protest, because the manner in which the main entrance of this factory in Sector 63 was broken with an iron rod, that shows a particular amount of skill which these individuals were having. What is very alarming is that the moment they spotted the CCTV cameras being installed there, the man who's wearing white shirt, if you look at him, he started wearing his mask. Not even him. There were three more individuals, the accused, who started wearing masks, which was suggesting that they knew that their footages will be captured on the CCTV camera, and it's going to be very difficult for them to escape from the law. Now, the fact of the matter is that this particular pattern have been seen in around 80 locations. There were 4 to 5 locations where the arson happened, and the Noida police, along with the special units of the UP police like STF and ATS, have been probing the larger conspiracy probe, the big information which we can break in the later stage. But what sources have been suggesting that this was not a random protest. There was a particular pattern which was seen once the social media platform started circulating fake stories. Later to that, there was a particular individual group which also came on the streets, and they kept on doing arson and moving from those locations. But in the CCTV footage, you can clearly see that in one of the factories, this was, actually one of the factory, there have been series of the factory locations which have been attacked by these individuals. They came fully prepared. They used the iron rod to break open the main entrance of this particular factory, and later to that, they destroyed the CCTV camera, and after which they created nuisance on most of these factories. There was a particular pattern which has been observed by the police officials. That's why more than 200 individuals have been arrested so far. The data shows 60 arrests, 200 impoundment, but the figure can rise later on. But who was behind this is a major investigation for which the senior officials have been working since the last 24 hours.
Right, why don't you stay with us, Priyank? I believe my colleague Shivam is also joining us live on the broadcast. He's joining us live from ground zero. Viewers, today the situation obviously has settled on the ground. The police yesterday itself had intensified the crackdown. They had spoken out against rumor mongering linked to the protest which we saw in Noida. The Noida police basically had stated that strict legal action will be taken against anyone found responsible of spreading panic, provoking unrest, or leading to any spreading of misinformation. Now, this stepped up action comes after the Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister, it was Yogi Adityanath, who had issued the first response to the development. Listen into what he had to say earlier.
कुछ लोग उस शांति को समृद्धि की ओर बढ़ने से रोकने के लिए अशांति पैदा करने के भी षड्यंत्र कर रहे हैं। मैं अपील करूंगा सभी औद्योगिक इकाइयों में कार्यरत कार्मिकों से और औद्योगिक इकाइयों में कार्यरत श्रमिकों से भी, याद करिए ये डबल इंजन की सरकार आपके साथ कैसे खड़ी होती है। कोरोना कालखंड में आपने देखा होगा।
In fact, a high-powered committee, viewers, has now approved a wage increase, and that is the big update which we highlighted for you earlier as well. It is going to bring a major relief for factory workers, but will it placate them? The decision is expected to benefit the industrial laborers significantly, with a revision aimed at easing cost of living pressure and also removing and improving the earning conditions when it comes across the sector. So that's the latest which is coming in. My colleague Shivam is joining us live on the broadcast. Shivam, this is a very, very significant development which has happened. The fact that this sort of relief has come the way of workers, a high-powered committee approving a wage increase. Will that placate workers? Also, what's the situation like on ground today? Where does the investigation stand?
Well, actually, currently we are reporting from the phase 2 of Noida, the same area where tensions escalated yesterday. Today as well, you can see this is a particular private firm which deals with making of inks and pen, and you can see the laborer, the workers are outside raising slogans and are asking for the increase in wage price. As you rightly mentioned, this is all coming at a time when just few hours from now, the government also approved the increased wage, although they are interim wages that have been increased. For the unskilled laborers, it has increased from 11,300 to 13,000. For semi-skilled, from 12,000 to over 15,000. And for highly skilled, from it is also increased. But still, you can see the protests are going on because what they apparently believe is that the increased wage is still not enough to meet the demands of any household. And we will also have a word with all the individuals present here. Sir, आप लोग यहाँ पर प्रोटेस्ट कर रहे हैं आज सरकार की तरफ से आ गया था कि 11,000 से बढ़ के 13,000 हो गए, 13 से 15 हो गई है, क्या मानना है? अभी आपको लगता है आपकी और भी मांग है, वो पैसा कम है?
मांग है सर, लेकिन जो आप बता रहे हो वो भी हमें नहीं पता है. हमारी बस ओनली 300 रुपये बढ़ा है, 300 रुपये. बाकी नहीं बताया इन्होंने कुछ भी, हमें कुछ नहीं बताया जी सर. आपको नहीं.
आप यहाँ पर आप अंदर ही काम करते हैं, क्या डिमांड्स है आपके यहाँ पर? क्या
सर सैलरी की डिमांड है हमारी 20,000 रुपये.
20,000 आप
जी. ओटी डबल होना चाहिए सर.
ओटी डबल होना
जी सर.
बात बोल रहे हैं.
अभी सर एक सिंगल ओटी है 47 रुपये घंटे.
कितने रुपए?
47.
47 रुपीज पर आवर यू गेट फॉर ओवर टाइम.
जी जी सर.
ओके. एंड जो सर खाने की सुविधा होती है या फोन रखने की सुविधा होती है, क्या अंदर वो कंडीशन है जो एक वर्कर्स के लिए सूटेबल है?
सर खाने के लिए चावल दिया जा रहा है बंदे के लिए अभी.
सूखा चावल?
जी सर.
कोई सब्जी? कुछ
सब्जी है सर, नॉर्मल सब्जी.
थोड़ा सब्जी एक बार में दे देते हैं, दोबारा सब्जी नहीं देते हैं.
नहीं मिलेगा सर. बंदा भूखा है तो भूखा ही रहेगा.
तो अगर किसी की तबीयत खराब हो जाए, किसी को कुछ कॉल करना हो, तो आपके फोन्स कहाँ आपके पास होते हैं, क्या सीज कर लिया?
आज हमारा मुद्दा ना मोबाइल फोन, न खाना, न हमारी हेल्थ है. आज हमारा एक ही मुद्दा है, हमको हमारे हक का सैलरी दे गवर्नमेंट. गवर्नमेंट ने डिसाइड किया है कि 784 रुपए वो अपने केंद्र सरकार अपने सारे प्राइवेट एजेंसियों के थ्रू काम कराने वाले लेबर को देता है गवर्नमेंट, सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट. सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट का हम सपोर्ट करते हैं कि एक देश एक इलेक्शन, एक देश एक स्वास्थ्य, एक देश एक शिक्षा. आज हमने आवाज उठा लिया कि एक देश एक सैलरी, तो सरकार को हमारा साथ देना चाहिए. 784 रुपए हमारा हक है और वो हम हक लेके रहेंगे.
सरकार ने अभी जो 11,000 आपको मिलता था उसे बढ़ा के 13,000 किया है, बट यहाँ कुछ लोग बोल रहे हैं कि 20,000 से कम नहीं होगा, तो वो किस?
सरकार ने हमें एक ऑफर दिया था, एक अनाउंसमेंट किया है कि 11,000 को 13,000 किया गया. लेकिन फिर से मैं सरकार को बताना चाहता हूँ, जब इसी तरीके का सेम आंदोलन जैसा कि नोएडा में आज हो रहा है, जिसके चलते उन्होंने 21% का इंक्रीजमेंट दे के हमें खुश करने की कोशिश की है, ऐसा ही आंदोलन हरियाणा में हुआ तो वहां की सरकार तुरंत झुक गई और 11,000 की सैलरी को 15,200 रुपए में निकाल के रख दिया.
उन्होंने वहां पे अलग तो यहाँ पे अलग क्यों? आप ये बात बोलना चाह रहे हैं?
बिल्कुल. जब सरकार एक है, केंद्र में, राज्य में
एक है, यहाँ के रूल एक है, तो सैलरी अलग अलग क्यों? हमारी सरकार से यही मांग है कि सैलरी यहाँ की एक क्यों नहीं है.
So you see, Meenakshi, what they are basically trying to say is that yes, the prices have been increased, but what about the discrepancy? So what the laborers who are going to Haryana, who are closer to Haryana, are gaining much more, doing the same work that the people in Uttar Pradesh, Gautam Budh Nagar are not doing. Their demand is to unify the tax services, to unify the wage codes all across the nation, so there is equal opportunities to everyone present here, because not all of them can migrate to Haryana. Some of them have their house there, some of them have their home here. They cannot go to Haryana, they can go to other states where they are increasing, they're getting, more pays. What they are saying is that in Gautam Budh Nagar as well, in UP as well, where they are working, they want the same pay as a labor working for the same hours in other state is getting. So this is the current mood on the ground. Still, you can see there is heavy police deployment here as well. After yesterday's protest, you will see the police is on the toes. They are trying to make them understand that basically this is not the place to protest, and their demands have been met. At 11:30, the high-level committee is also supposed to give a detailed press conference about what are the details coming out from this entire increase for not just Gautam Budh Nagar but for the entire state as well.
And yes,
but for now,
you're right. And at the moment, what has happened is that the high-powered committee, and Priyank, if you could come in here, has approved a wage increase. That committee feels it could bring a major relief for factory workers. Help us understand what exactly is the stalemate, because protests are also continuing till now, and also, you know, the larger conspiracy angle, that is something which was being spoken about. Where does the probe stand on that aspect?
Actually, what the local authorities have been saying, that there were 83 locations where the 42,000 laborers came out for their protest, and the detailed press conference will be happening around 11:30, which Shivam has also been pointing out. Out of 5, 4 demands have been fulfilled according to the officials, and they have been looking at the further larger conspiracy probe, which is certainly indicating that there was a particular group which kept on doing asking and left from the location, and the social media propaganda has already been in public domain, which we have highlighted before the viewers. So there's a much more which needs to be done, because if you're talking about Noida, which is spread from around 30 to 35 kilometers, and every area has some sort of industrial bed. The name of Noida itself is Naveen Oglak Vikas Pradhikaran. So this is related to the industrial development which came. That's why the city was developed. That's why you have so many factories situated in Noida. Now the fact of the matter is that who is behind this particular asking is a big investigation for the police, which is indicating that this was not a random protest. This was not an organic protest. There are clear-cut evidences which shows that this was a pre-planned, premeditated attempt to vitiate the atmosphere in Noida, which led to this kind of violence.
Right, and to stay with us, Priyank, I believe my colleague Shivam has also filed a ground report from the location where the protests are continuing till date. Let's take a look.
the protests of the workers and the laborers in Noida continues as their demand for the increase in wage price. We are currently reporting from phase 2 of the Noida, where yesterday violence broke out. There were certain cars which led to flames, and this is, you can see the current situation here. We are at Noida phase 2, where the protesters are still present in front of this particular private entity which apparently makes pens and inks.
11,300 है 8 घंटे के लिए।
कितने रुपए मिलते हैं?
8 घंटे की 11,700 रुपए यहाँ पे सैलरी बोल के लाते हैं, 13,000 सैलरी कर देंगे। बट यहाँ पे बंदे 2 साल से 3 साल से काम कर रहे हैं, उनकी सैलरी में कोई एग्रीमेंट नहीं, कोई बढ़ोतरी नहीं होती है यहाँ पे। और कॉन्ट्रैक्टर बेस पे यहाँ पे ओटी है, सिंगल ओटी दिया जाता है, जबकि 1 अप्रैल से लागू हुआ था कि डबल ओटी आएगा। फिर भी बंदों को यहाँ पे सिंगल ही ओटी है, डबल ओटी कुछ नहीं दिया जाता है।
आप लोगों ने जब बात करी यहाँ के जो मैनेजर है उनसे, तो उन्होंने क्या बोला आपको जब आपने पहुंचे?
वहाँ पे बोला अगर यहाँ पे सबकी बढ़ेगी तो आप लोगों की बढ़ेगी, बट इस मामले में कोई सुनवाई नहीं है कि सैलरी यहाँ पे बढ़ेगी। जब यहाँ के सरकारी कर्मचारियों द्वारा यहाँ की सैलरी में कोई बढ़ोतरी होगी तो फिर सारी कंपनियां इसमें कुछ एक्शन लेंगी।
All right, with that we'll step into a short commercial break. News and updates on the other side. Please don't go anywhere.